Why are people fleeing states like California, Illinois, and Mississippi? Despite their beauty, some of these states are driving locals away at record rates. In fact, Illinois lost over 100,000 people in just 1 year. That's almost like the entire city of Springfield vanishing overnight. What's behind this mass exodus? Today we'll dive into the truth behind why people are abandoning these states. From skyrocketing taxes to poverty and even a boring reputation, you'll be surprised to learn who tops the list. Stay tuned to find out which state is officially the most disliked in the country and why it might make you reconsider where you want to live next. 15th, Illinois, the most hated state in the United States. The first state on this list is none other than Illinois, a place famous for its deep dish pizza and the bustling city of Chicago. But dig a little deeper, and you'll see why Illinois tops the list of the most disliked states in the United States. What's driving people away from living here? High crime rates, freezing winters, and a rapidly declining population. One of the main reasons people are packing their bags and leaving Illinois is the rise in hate crimes and other violent activities, including issues such as anti-Semitism, white supremacist activities, and attacks on the LGBT community. According to a recent study, Illinois saw the highest increase in hate crimes in the entire country between the years 2021 and 2022, with a 125% rise in hate crimes, from 149 incidents in 2021 to 319 in 2022. Crime rates are on the rise, especially in Chicago, leaving many residents wondering about safety. Despite its iconic skyline and world-class architecture, Chicago's crime rate is a driving force behind much of the disdain directed toward Illinois. Illinois is also experiencing a serious population decline, losing 113,776 residents in the year 2021 alone. Over the past decade, Illinois has been one of the fastest shrinking states in the country. What's the reason? Many point to a lack of job opportunities, high taxes, and dissatisfaction with state leadership. In fact, nearly 1 in 4 Illinois residents say it's the worst place to live. And then, there's the weather. Brutal winters stretch from late fall through spring, with heavy snowfall from lake effects and icy conditions that make daily life difficult. Frostbite, dangerous travel conditions, and rising heating costs turn winter into a season of struggle for many. And if the cold isn't enough, Illinois faces frequent flooding due to its proximity to lakes and rivers, along with severe storms and tornadoes in the warmer months. So whether it's crime, weather, or economic hardship, Illinois has more challenges than average. But what about you? Have you ever been to Illinois or lived in Chicago? What was your experience like? Let us know in the comments below. 14, Louisiana, rising crime rates and a dismal economy. Ranked as one of the worst states for job growth and economic opportunity. Many residents of the state feel trapped in low-wage industries like oil. The education system offers little hope, with nearly a quarter of students failing to graduate from high school. Combine this with rising crime rates, and it's no wonder many Louisianans are looking for a way out. Violence and crime continue to be persistent threats. Louisiana has an overall crime rate of 6,408 per 100,000 residents, ranking third among states with the highest crime rates in the United States, particularly in cities like New Orleans, Baton Rouge, and Shreveport. This can make residents feel unsafe within their own communities. The quality of education is also a significant issue. According to U.S. News World Report, Louisiana was ranked 40th in the national education rankings in the year 2025. This leaves many young people poorly prepared for college education and future job opportunities. Louisiana's economy is another major reason why the state is disliked. The unemployment rate in Louisiana remains a concern at 4.3%, higher than the national average of 3.9%. Additionally, Louisiana has had the slowest job recovery among the 48 contiguous states since the pandemic-related lockdowns in February of 2020. Job growth has been stagnant for years, and many workers are tied to industries that offer little financial security. The economic outlook is bleak, with few opportunities to escape poverty. Louisiana is also notorious for its poor infrastructure, with roads in many areas in terrible condition. Potholes and poor maintenance make driving difficult. Furthermore, public transportation options are very limited outside of New Orleans. What do you think about Louisiana's position on this list? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. 13th, California, a golden state tarnished by high costs and homelessness. California, once a beacon of opportunity, is now a state that many people want to leave. The high cost of living tops the list, with sky-high housing prices and steep taxes pushing residents away. But that's not all. The state's homelessness crisis is the largest in the country, especially in cities like San Francisco and Los Angeles, where homelessness is visible on nearly every corner. California's crime rate is another concern. The violent crime rate stands at 495 crimes per 100,000 residents, while property crimes, including theft and motor vehicle theft, reached 2,314 per 100,000 residents in the year 2022. Some areas of California have significantly higher crime rates than others. For example, the San Joaquin Valley has the highest violent crime rate at 641 per 100,000 people, while the San Francisco Bay Area has the highest property crime rate at 3,036 per 100,000 residents. These figures paint a picture of lawlessness in certain regions. Despite high taxes, public services like housing and public safety often fall short of meeting actual needs. The state income tax reaches as high as 13.3% for the wealthiest. For those earning around $55,000 per year, the rate is approximately 8%, which places a significant tax burden even on individuals with average incomes. However, the issue that weighs most heavily is the homelessness crisis. California has a severe homelessness problem, particularly in cities like San Francisco and Los Angeles, where you'll see homeless individuals scattered on the streets when you visit the state. Many residents feel that state and local governments have not done enough to address this issue, and the visible presence of homelessness can be distressing both for those experiencing it and for those living nearby. Before we move on to the next state, I have a quick 10-second request for everyone listening. If you can support me in any way, just hit the notification bell and subscribe button. It would mean a lot. It really helps the channel. And if you do that for me, I promise my team and I will do everything we can to make this show even better for you. Deal! 12th, New Jersey, high costs and a reputation problem. New Jersey, home to some of the highest property taxes in the country, congested highways, and as many claim, some of the rudest residents. But is there more to the story of this state? Let's dive a little deeper. One of the top complaints about New Jersey is the high cost of living. The state's property taxes are the highest in the United States, with the average household paying more than $9,000 a year. Real estate prices are sky high, especially near major cities like New York and Philadelphia, making homeownership a burden for many residents. On top of that, New Jersey's income and sales taxes are also higher than in many other states. This can make everyday life more expensive, and many residents feel overwhelmed by the state's overall tax structure. But it's not just a financial issue. New Jerseyans are often labeled as rude, a stereotype reinforced by pop culture, from shows like Jersey Shore to The Sopranos. Locals tend to be direct and outspoken, a style many outsiders interpret as rude. But does being honest really make someone rude? Or is that just part of Jersey's charm? Crime is another reason why New Jersey faces criticism. In the year 2021 alone, the state reported more than 1,200 hate and bias crimes. Add to that the severe traffic congestion, especially around major highways like the Garden State Parkway and the New Jersey Turnpike. Commuters, especially those traveling to New York City, face long and often exhausting travel times. On top of it all, New Jersey's weather can be quite harsh. Summers can be hot and humid, while winters bring freezing temperatures, snow, and ice storms. The state also gets a fair amount of rainfall throughout the year, and some areas are prone to flooding. What about you? Have you experienced the highs and lows of New Jersey? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. 11th, New York, the high price of the Big Apple. New York, the Empire State. Famous for its iconic skyline, vibrant culture, and endless opportunities, but lately it's becoming more well-known for driving people away. Between the rising cost of living and urban congestion, many residents are saying goodbye to the Big Apple and the state itself. But is the rest of New York really that bad? Let's take a closer look. One of the most important reasons people are leaving New York is the expensive cost of living. In cities like New York City, rent alone can take up more than half of a person's monthly income. Add to that the state's high tax rates, combined with local taxes, which can reach up to 12.7%, and you're facing a financial burden that few can afford. With the median home price over $450,000 statewide, even home ownership seems out of reach for many. While New York is famous for its energy and opportunities, overcrowding, especially in the city, is a major issue. Public transportation, particularly the subway system, is aging and often unreliable. The combination of terrible traffic and faulty public transport makes commuting a constant source of stress for many. New York's weather is another big disappointment. Winters can be brutally cold and snowy, especially up north, where lake-effect snow can bury towns under several feet of snow. In the summer, New York City can become unbearably hot and humid. The extreme weather swings from one extreme to another, making outdoor life difficult for much of the year. The gap between the rich and the poor is vast in New York. While the state is home to some of the wealthiest people in the world, a significant portion of the population lives in poverty. In New York City, luxury high-rises can sit right next to underfunded neighborhoods, highlighting the stark income inequality. So, what do you think? Do New York's opportunities still outweigh its challenges, or is it time to pack up and leave? 10th, Michigan. From the glory to the downfall of the Motor City. In 10th place is Michigan, a state once hailed as the backbone of American manufacturing, now struggling to retain its residents. For many, this is a story of lost opportunity. Detroit, once known as the Motor City, has experienced major decline, leaving behind crumbling infrastructure, widespread unemployment, and high crime. But that's only part of Michigan's struggle. The decline of Detroit is central to Michigan's story. Once the heart of the American auto industry, the city collapsed as manufacturing jobs moved overseas, leaving tens of thousands unemployed. Today, Detroit's unemployment rate is 8.8%, significantly higher than the national average, and despite some recent recovery efforts, the crime rate remains quite high. The city has an overall crime rate of 66 incidents per 1,000 residents, well above the national average. This puts Detroit on the list of cities with high crime levels. Winters in Michigan are notoriously harsh. Snowstorms, icy roads, and freezing temperatures can last for months, making daily life difficult. For many residents, the bitter cold and long winters make living in Michigan challenging, especially in the Upper Peninsula and northern regions. Dealing with snow removal, ice, and dangerous driving conditions is a common complaint. The cold, combined with a slow economic recovery and limited job opportunities outside certain areas like Grand Rapids, drives many Michiganders to seek warmer climates and better prospects elsewhere. But not everything is bleak. Despite the challenges, some parts of Michigan are making a comeback. Recent investments in technology and renewable energy sectors are attempting to breathe new life into areas once dependent on manufacturing. The question remains, will these efforts be enough to transform Michigan's future, or is it too little, too late? What do you think? Is Michigan a story of resilience or continued decline? Let us know in the comments below. 9th, Kentucky. Struggling with poverty and opportunity. Kentucky, known for its beautiful landscapes and horse racing culture, hides a story of persistent poverty and limited opportunities. For decades, Kentucky is ranked among the states with the highest poverty rates in the country. In some areas, the poverty rate ranges from 16% to 20%. Kentucky is one of the poorest states in the United States, with many regions, particularly in eastern Kentucky and Appalachia, facing high levels of poverty. Job opportunities can be scarce, and wages are often lower than the national average, leading to financial struggles for many families. The state's reliance on industries like coal, which has been in decline for decades, has left some areas in economic ruin. Take the story of Boone County, once a thriving manufacturing hub. When the factory doors closed, nearly 400 people lost their jobs overnight. "There's nothing here for the younger generation anymore," said one local resident. "They have to leave if they want to make a living." This story is not unique. Towns across Kentucky are facing similar realities. Kentucky's education system is also a concern. According to the American Legislative Exchange Council, Kentucky ranks 44th out of 50 states in education, with an overall grade of C1.67. This means Kentucky's public education system often ranks below the national average. Many schools, particularly in rural areas, lack the resources needed to provide a high-quality education. This leads to low graduation rates, fewer opportunities for higher education, and a workforce that often struggles to compete in the modern economy. Kentucky has been hit hard by the opioid epidemic. This ongoing crisis has devastated many communities. Families and local governments have had to adopt a variety of solutions to effectively manage it. But Kentucky is not giving up. Some communities are making strides, investing in tourism and small business development to restore vitality to their cities. The question remains, will these efforts be enough to save the struggling areas of the state? What do you think? Can Kentucky overcome its challenges, or will it remain stuck in this cycle? Share your thoughts in the comments below. 8th, West Virginia. In West Virginia, the mountains are spectacular, but the economic depression and the drugs can hit you in a very different way. Beneath the shadow of the Appalachian Mountains, West Virginia is a state of striking contrasts, where its stunning natural beauty is offset by deep-rooted challenges that have earned it a place on this list. Once a center for coal mining and industrial labor, West Virginia is now facing economic decline, social dislocation, and drug abuse that has left many residents feeling trapped. West Virginia's economy has long been tied to the coal industry. For decades, it was the lifeblood of the state, but in recent years, that industry has drastically declined. As coal jobs dried up, the unemployment rate in the state soared, leaving thousands of families without reliable income. According to recent reports, the unemployment rate in West Virginia remains high, hovering around 4.5% in the year 2024, higher than the national average of 3.8%. For many, opportunities are scarce, particularly in rural areas where new industries have been slow to develop. The economic downturn has taken a toll. Small towns once buoyed by coal have become ghost towns, with local businesses struggling to survive. Residents are left with few job prospects and are often forced to move elsewhere to find work. This exodus only deepens the sense of gloom that has gripped much of the state. West Virginia's economic struggles are compounded by another tragedy: the opioid epidemic. The state has one of the highest rates of opioid addiction in the country. Addiction has become a vicious cycle, trapping residents in poverty with limited access to treatment and recovery programs. The state's healthcare infrastructure is stretched thin, especially in rural areas that face severe resource shortages to combat the crisis. Clinics and rehabilitation centers are often hours away, making it difficult for those in need to get help. Living in West Virginia can feel socially alienating. Many residents are fiercely proud of their heritage and hometown, but they also feel saddened by the state's reputation. This isolation, both geographical and social, only adds to the local mood. Economic challenges and the impact of drugs have left lasting scars. West Virginia is a place where the past and present are in stark contrast. A state that once thrived on industry is now struggling with poverty and addiction. The majestic mountains may be alluring to visitors, but for many who live there, those mountains feel like walls they can't escape. As coal continues to decline and the impact of drugs continues, West Virginians struggle to rebuild their communities and their lives. 7th, Mississippi. Racial tensions and economic stagnation. Mississippi may be famous for Southern hospitality, but behind that charm lies the harsh reality of poverty and racial inequality, which many residents feel powerless to escape. Mississippi, known for its Southern charm and deep history, faces significant challenges that make it one of the most disliked states in America. Despite its rich cultural heritage, the state continues to struggle with persistent poverty, limited economic mobility, and ongoing racial tensions, putting it in the spotlight for all the wrong reasons. Mississippi has consistently ranked as one of the poorest states in the United States. As of the year 2024, the poverty rate stands at 19.4%, which is double the national average. Many Mississippians are stuck in a cycle of low-wage jobs with few opportunities for advancement, especially in rural areas where industries are scarce. The lack of job opportunities forces many residents to rely on temporary, low-paying work, leaving entire communities in economic stagnation. This ongoing economic struggle impacts education, healthcare, and infrastructure across the state. Schools in underfunded districts, particularly in the Mississippi Delta, face severe resource shortages, further limiting opportunities for future generations. It's a system where poverty begets poverty, and residents of Mississippi find it nearly impossible to break free. Mississippi's history of race relations is complex, and unfortunately, the state continues to grapple with the legacy of racism and inequality. While there have been major strides over the past decades, racial tensions still persist. The gap between Black and white communities remains large, with Blacks in Mississippi experiencing higher rates of poverty and unemployment. Even today, many areas of Mississippi are still divided along racial lines, both economically and socially. The state's racial divide is not only a part of its history, but it continues to impact the present, causing discomfort felt by many residents. Despite these challenges, Mississippi is a place of contrasts. Its music, from the birthplace of the blues in the Delta to the soul of Jackson, continues to inspire people worldwide. Yet, the communities that produce this cultural richness are often the ones hit hardest by economic hardship. Mississippi's reputation as one of the most disliked states in the United States stems from its ongoing struggle with poverty, inequality, and economic stagnation. While the state's beauty and culture are undeniable, these issues continue to overshadow the positives. 6th, Alabama, scorching summers and persistent poverty. Alabama, the heart of Dixie, is a state of paradoxes. On the surface, it boasts beautiful landscapes, rich history, and Southern charm. But beneath that charm lies a harsh reality. Alabama struggles with scorching summers, persistent poverty, and an education system that leaves many residents searching for better opportunities. What holds people back from thriving here? And why are so many looking for a way out? Imagine stepping outside into relentless heat day after day. Alabama's summer temperatures often soar above 90 degrees Fahrenheit, with humidity so thick it makes the air feel stifling. For those without adequate air conditioning, these conditions can become unbearable, especially in rural areas where economic hardship is more pronounced. The state is also prone to tornadoes, particularly in Tornado Alley, and hurricanes that impact the Gulf Coast region. These extreme weather events pose a constant threat, leading to damage, evacuations, and widespread anxiety. According to recent data, Alabama is the 6th poorest state in the United States, with 14.9% of Alabamians living below the federal poverty line, a significantly higher rate than the national average of 11.9%. The state's economic struggles are not limited to its sweltering heat. Rural communities in Alabama face higher unemployment rates, fewer job opportunities, and limited access to education. The state's per capita income remains low, making it difficult for residents to improve their quality of life. These challenges create a cycle that many find hard to break free from. But it's not just the heat and lack of jobs. The education system in Alabama also contributes to the state's reputation as one of the most disliked in the country. Schools, especially in rural areas, suffer from underfunding and overcrowding, with graduation rates and educational outcomes lagging behind the national average. This makes it harder for students to escape the cycle of poverty and compete in a job market that increasingly values higher education. Alabama also has a long and difficult history when it comes to race relations, from slavery to the civil rights movement. While progress has been made, systemic racial inequality still exists in areas such as education, employment, and the criminal justice system. For some, the legacy of this history and the ongoing disparities remain a painful and uncomfortable aspect of life in the state. Alabama is known for its conservative political stance, which can be frustrating for residents with more progressive views. Issues like LGBTQ rights and climate change are points of contention, with policies that some consider regressive or out of step with national trends. The political climate can feel rigid, with little room for change on key social issues. So, why do people stay? For many, it's a deep connection to their home, family, and the culture they grew up with. But for others, leaving isn't always an option. Financial constraints, family obligations, or simply the inability to move make it difficult for residents to escape the challenges of living in Alabama. But the real question remains, can Alabama turn things around, or will the struggles of scorching weather, poverty, and an outdated education system continue to hold it back? Fifth, Massachusetts, high cost of living and traffic accidents. Massachusetts is often praised for its rich history and world-class universities, but its spot on this list isn't just due to accolades. Despite its cultural prestige, many residents find life here increasingly difficult, primarily due to skyrocketing living costs and the state's infamous traffic congestion. The cost of living in Massachusetts is among the highest in the country. Home prices in cities like Boston are so high that even well-paid professionals struggle to afford a house. In the year 2024, the median home price in Massachusetts has reached a staggering $615,000, compared to the national average of around $416,100. Renting isn't much better, with one-bedroom apartments in the Boston area often costing more than $2,500 per month. These prices force many families to tighten their budgets or move to more affordable areas. But it's not just housing that drains your wallet. Everyday costs, including groceries, healthcare, and utilities, are significantly higher than the national average. For residents trying to make ends meet, life in Massachusetts can feel like an uphill battle. If the cost of living doesn't get you down, the traffic might. Massachusetts is notorious for its traffic jams, particularly around Boston. The city consistently ranks as one of the worst in the United States for traffic congestion. In fact, drivers in Boston spent an average of 134 hours stuck in traffic in the year 2023, more than in most other U.S. cities. Commuters lose valuable time and patience while navigating the daily chaos of rush hour. These factors leave many residents questioning whether Massachusetts is worth the struggle, despite its undeniable cultural and academic appeal. While the high cost of living and traffic are major obstacles, they aren't the only reason some residents feel Massachusetts is becoming less livable. What other hidden challenges are making this historic state one of the most disliked in the United States? Let me know your thoughts. Fourth, Connecticut. Connecticut, often portrayed as a state of picturesque small towns and quiet suburbs, hides a reality that surprises many residents. Despite its image of wealth, Connecticut still struggles with high living costs, economic stagnation, and profound loneliness. These issues make it one of the most disliked states in the United States, particularly for middle-class families and young people who find it hard to establish themselves in a state known for its wealth gap. Living in Connecticut can be lonely. For many residents, especially newcomers, building a social circle is a challenge. Towns are often spread out, and the suburban lifestyle can leave people feeling disconnected. In small, affluent towns, tightly knit communities can make outsiders feel unwelcome. For those who move to Connecticut for work, this social distance often adds to feelings of loneliness. But what is it about Connecticut's wealthy towns that makes people feel so isolated? Does the state's wealth drive more than just economic inequality? While Connecticut is home to some of the wealthiest communities in the country, this wealth is not evenly distributed. The state is known for high property taxes that disproportionately affect middle-income families. As of the year 2024, Connecticut remains one of the most expensive states to live in, with the cost of living about 13% higher than the national average. This includes everything from housing to everyday necessities. Notably, Connecticut's property taxes are among the highest in the nation. According to Rocket Mortgage, as of April 2024, Connecticut's average property tax rate is 1.79%, the fifth highest in the country. A real estate data company, states that Connecticut has one of the highest property taxes nationwide, even surpassing neighboring New York. On average, residents in Connecticut may pay around $8,000 a year just in property taxes. This is especially difficult for those not benefiting from living near high-paying industries. Connecticut's economy, once driven by finance and insurance industries, has seen slowed growth in recent years, leaving many workers behind. This economic stagnation is worsened by a weakening job market in certain sectors, making it hard for people to climb the economic ladder. Cities like Hartford and Bridgeport have high poverty rates, which sharply contrast with affluent areas like Greenwich. Take Jessica, a young professional who moved to Connecticut from New York in search of a quieter life. But instead, she found a state where it was difficult to connect with people. She describes her time in Connecticut as boring and expensive, struggling with both high rent costs and the challenge of making friends in a tightly knit suburban community. Though her job is stable, the cost of living prevents her from saving much, and the social isolation has her reconsidering a move back to New York, despite originally wanting a slower pace of life. Jessica's story is not unique. Many young professionals like her face the same question: is it worth staying in Connecticut, or is the state's allure just skin deep? Third, Ohio. Economic struggles and a boring reputation. Ohio, a state often associated with Midwestern values and industrial history, has earned a top spot on the list of the most disliked states in the United States. Why? It's not just the harsh winters or the rusting remains of once thriving manufacturing towns. For many, Ohio represents stagnation, a sluggish economy that makes it hard for families to thrive, and for young people, a place that holds little appeal for building a future. Ohio has been grappling with economic issues for decades. The decline of manufacturing in cities like Cleveland, Akron, and Dayton has left lasting scars. Once booming industries like steel and auto manufacturing have withered, leading to high unemployment rates and crumbling infrastructure. As of the year 2024, Ohio's unemployment rate stands at 4%, higher than the national average. Many cities are facing economic stagnation, where well-paying job opportunities are few and far between. While Ohio is home to major corporations like Procter & Gamble and Nationwide Insurance, the wealth is not evenly distributed across the state. Rural areas, in particular, lack economic diversity, with many residents relying on low-wage jobs that offer little hope for advancement. The income inequality between urban and rural Ohio continues to widen as younger generations leave for more vibrant economic landscapes. For those living in Ohio, the stereotype of the state being boring is hard to shake. This reputation is reinforced by outsiders, but it's also something locals often feel themselves. Unlike neighboring states with major cities or tourist destinations, Ohio's most notable attractions, like the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame or Cedar Point Amusement Park, don't always balance out the challenges of daily life. Additionally, Ohio's winters can be long, cold, and dreary. The state is known for unpredictable weather and frequent snowstorms. Gray skies and freezing temperatures can last for months, and the constant need to shovel snow and navigate icy roads can be exhausting. Seasonal depression is a common complaint due to the lack of sunlight during the winter months. But do Ohio's economic difficulties and lack of excitement truly drive people away, or is there something deeper at play? Let's explore the roots of Ohio's less-than-stellar reputation and the untold stories of those still trying to make a living in the Buckeye State. Take Emily, a 27-year-old Ohio native who moved back to Cleveland after college, hoping to save on rent while looking for a job in marketing. Instead, she found a stagnant job market where many positions required years of experience she didn't have and salaries that didn't match the high cost of living. She recalls, "I felt like I was running in circles. I could afford to live here, but there were no career opportunities that would help me grow. It felt like being stuck." Emily's story resonates with many young professionals leaving Ohio in search of bigger opportunities. While the state offers affordable housing and friendly communities, the lack of economic growth and limited cultural experiences make it hard for them to stay. While Ohio remains a beloved home for many, the state's economic challenges and boring reputation continue to drive younger generations away. But is there hope for revival, or will Ohio's identity remain tied to its industrial past? As we dive into the next most disliked states, we'll look for answers. Second, Alaska, isolation and harsh living conditions. Alaska, with its majestic landscapes and pristine wilderness, is often called the last frontier. But behind that breathtaking scenery lies a reality that many find difficult to endure. Alaska ranks as one of the most disliked states in the United States, largely due to its extreme isolation, harsh winters, and the mental health challenges that come with living in such a remote place. What draws people to move here? And more importantly, why do so many leave? Alaska's remoteness is a double-edged sword. While some are drawn to the solitude, the long, dark winters and geographic isolation can take a serious toll on mental health. Seasonal affective disorder SAD is common here, as the sun disappears for months in some regions. Towns like Barrow, now known as Eekhiagvik, can go without sunlight for over 60 days. It's no surprise that Alaska has the highest rates of depression and suicide in the country. But the isolation isn't just about the darkness. Alaska is physically isolated from the rest of the United States. Many small towns are accessible only by plane or boat, making travel expensive and everyday life challenging. Imagine paying $9 for a gallon of milk in a remote village, or enduring weeks of delays for essential supplies to be shipped in. So, what is it about Alaska's allure that keeps people coming back despite the hardships? Stay tuned to find out why so many choose to embrace these challenges and call Alaska home. Meet Tom, an adventurous spirit who moved to Alaska in search of a simpler life close to nature. He was drawn by the rugged beauty, wide open spaces, and the chance to live off the grid in the state. But soon after settling in, Tom realized the emotional and physical toll that Alaska's remoteness could have. It's not just the weather, he says. It's the loneliness. You can go days without seeing another person, and that's hard. Tom's story is all too familiar. While Alaska offers a unique lifestyle, it's not for everyone. Many, like Tom, eventually leave, returning to the lower 48 in search of warmer climates, more accessible communities, and the simple comfort of daylight. For some, Alaska is paradise. For others, it's a place where beauty and isolation collide in ways that make everyday life challenging. As we explore more of the most disliked states in the United States, we'll dive deeper into what makes people love or hate their home state. If you like this video, hit the subscribe button for more interesting charts and stories about life across the U.S. First, Maryland, congested roads and sky-high living costs. Maryland may offer the charm of the nation's capital and the picturesque Chesapeake Bay, but for many residents, the reality is far less glamorous. Often ranked as the most disliked state in the United States, Maryland's reputation stems from its high cost of living, congested traffic, and the stark contrast between urban wealth and struggling rural areas. Maryland is one of the most expensive states to live in. With its proximity to Washington, D.C., many areas, especially in Montgomery and Howard counties, are home to some of the wealthiest communities in the country. But this also means soaring property values and steep taxes. In the year 2024, the median home price in Maryland has surpassed $400,000, significantly higher than the national average. For many middle-class families, buying a home is a constant struggle, and renting is not much better. In major urban areas like Bethesda and Silver Spring, the cost to rent a two-bedroom apartment can easily exceed $2,500 a month. But it's not just housing. Everyday costs in Maryland are steep. Groceries, healthcare, and services all come at a premium, forcing many to spend beyond their budgets. On top of that, Maryland residents also face high taxes, including income tax, property tax, and sales tax. The state has one of the highest income tax rates in the country, and when combined with local county taxes, it can create a significant financial burden. Maryland uses a tiered income tax system with rates ranging from 2% to 5.75%. If your income is under $1,000, you pay 2%. If your income exceeds $1,000, you pay $20 plus 3% of the amount over $1,000. If your income exceeds $2,000, you pay $50 plus 4% of the amount over $2,000. And if your income exceeds $250,000, you pay $12,760 plus 5.75% of your income. Local county income taxes range from 2.25% to 3.2%, calculated based on your taxable income. This means many residents find themselves paying high taxes but feel they don't receive enough in public services or infrastructure in return. So why, despite the high costs and congestion, do many still choose to stay in Maryland? The answer might surprise you. If the cost of living doesn't drive people away, the traffic just might. Maryland's proximity to Washington, D.C. makes for some of the worst traffic in the country. In the year 2023, commuters in Maryland lost an average of 95 hours per year stuck in traffic. The infamous Beltway, Interstate 495, is particularly notorious, where daily congestion tests the patience of even the most experienced drivers. For many Marylanders, commuting is a nightmare that consumes time, energy, and money. The congestion is not only frustrating but also increases pollution and diminishes quality of life, turning even a simple drive into a challenging task. Meet Daniel, a 35-year-old professional living in Bowie, Maryland. Every morning, he leaves home at 6:30 a.m., trying to avoid the morning rush hour in Washington, D.C., but the story is always the same. The traffic turns his 15-mile commute into a grueling ordeal, stretching what should be a 30-minute drive into over an hour and a half. Daniel admits, "Some days, it feels like I spend more time in my car than at home." Daniel's story is far from unique. Many Marylanders find themselves trapped in a cycle of working long hours to cover the high cost of living, only to lose precious time stuck on congested roads. With all its beauty and economic opportunity, Maryland is a state of both highs and lows that are hard to overlook. The cost of living and traffic are ongoing challenges, leaving many to wonder if the state's benefits are worth the struggles. Have you ever wondered which counties in the United States are the poorest? We often focus on cities, towns, states, and even other countries, but counties rarely get mentioned. So today, let's delve into the poorest counties in the United States. This video is based on the lowest median household incomes, as reported by the latest survey from the United States Census Bureau. As of the summer of the year 2024, the national median household income stands at approximately $68,000. However, the median household income in some of the counties on our list is nearly half of that. When you have a county where the annual median income is only about $32,500, it's quite significant. Number 10. McDowell County, West Virginia. McDowell County, West Virginia, a region historically reliant on coal mining. In the early to mid-20th century, coal was the lifeblood of this community, driving economic prosperity. However, as mechanization advanced and demand for coal decreased, McDowell County experienced a devastating economic decline. The county's dependence on coal meant that, as the industry faltered, there were few alternative employment opportunities. This lack of economic diversification left the region vulnerable and contributed to a dramatic population decline. In fact, approximately 80% of residents have left McDowell County over recent decades. This exodus has severely weakened the local economy, making it difficult to sustain infrastructure, schools, and businesses. Today, McDowell County faces significant economic challenges, with a poverty rate of about 31.7%. The median household income stands at just over $26,000 annually, significantly lower than both the state and national averages. This high poverty rate correlates with various social issues, including poor health outcomes and a reliance on federal assistance programs such as Social Security and food stamps. A major hurdle for economic recovery in McDowell County is land ownership. Much of the land is held by out-of-state coal companies and other entities, complicating efforts to repurpose it for new industries. The infrastructure, once built and maintained by coal companies, has also deteriorated considerably over time. For those considering purchasing property in McDowell County, real estate prices offer a stark contrast to national trends. The average home value in the county is approximately $36,848, which reflects a modest 5.7% increase over the past year. Most homes are priced between $50,000 and $90,000. This affordability is largely a result of the county's ongoing economic struggles and the population decline following the coal industry's downturn. While McDowell County's struggles may seem unique, they echo the challenges faced by other regions like Monroe County, Arkansas, where economic hardships and dwindling populations create both hurdles and opportunities for those considering relocation. Stay tuned. Number 9. Monroe County, Arkansas. Monroe County has a poverty rate of approximately 26%, which is significantly higher than both the state average of 17% and the national average of around 12%, according to the U.S. Census Bureau. Such a high poverty rate highlights the daily struggles many residents face in meeting basic living standards. Educational attainment in Monroe County is notably low, with only about 17% of adults holding a bachelor's degree or higher. This limits job opportunities and economic mobility, often confining residents to low-wage or seasonal jobs without stability or benefits. The county's economy heavily relies on agriculture, which is subject to seasonal fluctuations and uncertainties due to weather and market conditions. Since the year 2010, Monroe County has experienced a population decline of nearly 20%. This outmigration is primarily driven by young people seeking better educational and employment opportunities elsewhere, further shrinking the local labor pool and economic base. The lack of economic diversification makes the area vulnerable to downturns and limits job opportunities in industries beyond agriculture. Situated in the Mississippi Delta, Monroe County is part of a region historically marked by economic hardship and limited access to resources. Systemic challenges, including racial and economic disparities, have persisted over generations. Residents often face limited access to healthcare, education, and other critical services, exacerbating poverty and making it difficult for individuals to improve their circumstances through education and job training. Despite these challenges, Monroe County offers relatively affordable real estate compared to national averages. The average home value in the county is approximately $74,300, reflecting a decrease of 7% over the past year, according to Zillow. This affordability makes it an attractive market for potential buyers seeking lower-priced properties. The median listing price for homes is around $185,000, although this figure can fluctuate with market conditions. The region's economic challenges and lower demand compared to urban areas influence the affordability of real estate in Monroe County. Given the challenges and opportunities in Monroe County, do you think investing in affordable real estate there is a smart move, or do the economic struggles make it too risky? What would you do to revitalize the community and attract more opportunities? Share your thoughts below. Number 8. Buffalo County, South Dakota. Buffalo County, South Dakota, located just north of Chamberlain on the Missouri River, is a testament to the stark realities of rural poverty in America. With a population of fewer than 2,000 residents, Buffalo County is home to Gann Valley, the least populous county seat in the United States, boasting a population of just 14 people. The county's demographic profile is significantly shaped by the Crow Creek Indian Reservation, with approximately 84% of the population identifying as Native American, according to the year 2020 census. Buffalo County is predominantly rural and sparsely populated, with a population density of only about 4 people per square mile. The median household income here is strikingly low, at just over $27,000, with nearly half of the population living below the poverty line. This is largely due to limited employment opportunities. Many residents rely on jobs within the tribal government, local schools, or the tribal casino. Unfortunately, the tribal government is burdened with debt, which restricts its ability to create new employment opportunities. Housing and infrastructure challenges further compound the economic difficulties in Buffalo County. Many homes lack basic amenities such as kitchens and plumbing, and overcrowding is common, with multiple families often sharing a single household. These conditions severely impact the quality of life and hinder opportunities for economic improvement. Healthcare access is another significant challenge. as the county lacks sufficient medical and social services to adequately support its residents. The unemployment rate is alarmingly high, with more than 70% of the population reportedly unemployed, further exacerbating the county's struggles. Before we continue, I have a 10-second request for all of you. If you can help us out, please hit that subscribe button. It would mean a lot to us. In return, we promise to keep making this show even better for you. Deal? Number 7. East Carroll Parish, Louisiana. East Carroll Parish has a long history tied to agriculture, particularly cotton plantations, which historically relied on enslaved labor. After the Civil War and Reconstruction era, the parish faced economic instability and racial tensions that laid a foundation for today's economic disparity. Many African American residents have faced systemic barriers, such as voter suppression and lack of access to quality education and employment opportunities, further entrenching poverty in the area. The local economy is heavily dependent on agriculture, an industry known for its instability and low pay. This reliance on a single industry limits economic diversification and opportunities for higher-paying jobs, leaving the community vulnerable to fluctuations in agricultural prices and natural disasters. East Carroll Parish has one of the highest poverty rates in the nation, with approximately 44% of residents living below the poverty line, according to recent data from the U.S. Census Bureau. The median household income is significantly lower than the national average, making it difficult for residents to build wealth and improve their living conditions. The parish's population is declining, which further exacerbates economic difficulties. With fewer residents, economic activity decreases, and the tax base shrinks, making it harder for local governments to provide essential services. Educational attainment is also lower than the national average, affecting employment prospects. Many residents lack access to higher education or vocational training, limiting their ability to secure well-paying jobs outside of agriculture. Real estate in East Carroll Parish is notably affordable compared to the national average. As of the year 2023, the median home price was approximately $195,000, a decrease of about 4.3% from the previous year. The average sale price per square foot is around $42, significantly lower than in many other parts of the United States. Homes in the area range from $57,000 for smaller properties to between $250,000 and $365,000 for larger homes or those with more land. Additionally, East Carroll Parish offers affordable land for purchase, with 55 acres priced at $253,000. While these low real estate prices present opportunities for buyers seeking lower-cost housing or investment properties, they also reflect the region's economic challenges and limited growth prospects. Number 6. Holmes County, Mississippi. Holmes County is part of the historical Black Belt region, a term that initially described the area's dark, fertile soil but has since taken on a socioeconomic meaning. Before the Civil War, the region's economy relied heavily on plantation agriculture and enslaved labor. After emancipation, many African Americans in Holmes County managed to become landowners. However, by the early 20th century, economic and racial barriers, such as disenfranchisement and limited access to credit, forced many to lose their land. This shift led to the rise of sharecropping and tenant farming, systems that kept families in cycles of poverty for generations. Today, approximately 42.4% of Holmes County residents live below the poverty line, according to recent census data. This is one of the highest poverty rates in the nation, highlighting the ongoing economic struggles faced by its population. For those considering relocation, Holmes County presents some intriguing opportunities in the housing market. As of mid-2024, the median sale price of a home is about $190,000. This marks a significant increase of 55.7% from the previous year, indicating a rapid shift in real estate trends. Interestingly, the median sale price per square foot has dropped dramatically by 84.9% to about $13, reflecting a highly variable market, where property sizes and values fluctuate widely. Affordable options are available, with many homes priced under $120,000. There are also larger properties with 4 to 5 acres available for around $400,000. The local economy remains heavily reliant on agriculture, offering mostly low-wage jobs with limited diversification into other industries. This dependency results in fewer opportunities for stable, well-paying employment. The county's infrastructure presents additional hurdles. Many areas lack adequate healthcare facilities, contributing to high rates of chronic health conditions like diabetes and hypertension. These issues are exacerbated by the county's status as a food desert, where access to fresh, healthy food is limited. Furthermore, inadequate broadband internet access isolates the community, hindering educational and economic advancement. Holmes County's population has been declining as residents move to urban areas in search of better opportunities. Those who remain are predominantly African American, continuing to face systemic racial and economic challenges that contribute to persistent poverty. While Holmes County's real estate market shows surprising growth amid economic challenges, Tensas Parish in Louisiana tells a similar story of historical reliance on agriculture and its impact on modern living. Stay tuned. Number 5. Tensas Parish, Louisiana. Tensas Parish has long been reliant on agriculture, with cotton farming at the heart of its economy. This dependency has exposed the region to economic fluctuations, as agricultural markets can be volatile. Over the years, the region's lack of diversification into other industries has limited economic growth and resilience. Historically, Tensas Parish's economy was built on slavery and later sharecropping, which has contributed to persistent economic disparities and limited wealth accumulation, particularly among African Americans, who represent a significant portion of the population. As of the most recent data in the year 2024, Tensas Parish faces significant economic challenges. The poverty rate stands at 32.1%, substantially higher than both the state and national averages. The median household income is approximately $32,962, which reflects limited economic opportunities and underscores the need for diversification and investment in the area. The labor force participation rate is strikingly low at 41.9%, compared to the state average of 58.5%. This discrepancy highlights the limited job opportunities and economic activities available to residents, driven by the parish's continued reliance on agriculture without substantial industrial or service sector development. The parish has been experiencing a continuous decline in population, as residents leave in search of better economic opportunities elsewhere. This outmigration reduces the local consumer base and workforce, creating a cycle that further hampers economic growth. The dwindling population also affects local businesses and reduces the potential for new enterprises to thrive. Real estate in Tensas Parish is notably affordable compared to national standards, with the average home value around $106,964. This represents a decline of 18.3% over the past year, reflecting broader trends in the local housing market. While the median home price as of June of the year 2024 was reported at $595,000, this figure can vary widely depending on the specific property and location within the parish. Number 4. Humphreys County, Mississippi. Humphreys County, Mississippi, located in the historically significant Mississippi Delta. This region, known for its agricultural roots, relies heavily on cotton and catfish farming. Despite being celebrated as the catfish capital of the world, the economic benefits of this industry have not significantly uplifted the local population from poverty. As of the year 2022, the median household income in Humphreys County was just over $31,000, a stark contrast to the national median income, which exceeds $70,000. This economic disparity highlights the challenges faced by many residents, with a significant portion living below the poverty line. Educational attainment in the county is notably low, and there is a high percentage of single-parent households. These factors contribute to limited economic opportunities, as residents often find themselves confined to low-wage jobs within agriculture and catfish farming, with few alternatives for career advancement. The county's history is deeply intertwined with the legacy of slavery and segregation, having once been part of a plantation economy. It also played a significant role in the civil rights movement, with these historical experiences continuing to impact the community's socioeconomic landscape. Economically, the county lacks significant industrial diversification. Without substantial access to jobs outside of agriculture, residents face limited opportunities to improve their financial status. This lack of economic diversity is reflected in the local real estate market, where homes are priced significantly lower than the national average. As of the year 2024, the median sale price for homes in Humphreys County is approximately $36,000, representing a decrease of nearly 20% from the previous year. The drop in prices is largely due to the county's economic challenges and the limited demand for housing. Despite these low prices, the real estate market offers only a few homes, with prices ranging from as low as $15,900 to as high as $3 million, reflecting significant variation in property values. Number 3. Owsley County, Kentucky. Owsley County has historically relied on industries such as coal mining, timber, and tobacco farming. However, these industries have seen a sharp decline over the years due to decreasing demand and strict environmental regulations, leading to widespread job losses and economic instability. Unfortunately, few alternative employment opportunities have emerged to replace these traditional industries. With a population of only 4,000 people, Owsley County is one of the most sparsely populated counties in the U.S. The county seat, Boonville, has less than 100 residents. About 31% of the population lives below the poverty line, and the median household income is just over $25,800 per year, compared to the national median household income of about $75,000. Owsley County also faces significant health challenges, including high rates of drug addiction and limited access to healthcare services. These issues reduce workforce productivity and place a heavy burden on social services, making economic development even more difficult. The county is also dealing with a shrinking and aging population, as many young residents leave in search of better opportunities elsewhere. This outmigration results in a declining population that impacts local businesses and services, further hindering economic vitality. Real estate in Owsley County is relatively affordable compared to the national average. As of August of the year 2024, the median home value in the county is approximately $111,575, representing a decrease of about 11% over the past year. Recently, home sales in the area have ranged from $79,500 for smaller houses to $238,000 for larger properties. The land is also inexpensive, with undeveloped lots listed as low as $15,000 for half an acre. As Owsley County, Kentucky, grapples with the economic and social consequences of industry decline, Madison Parish, Louisiana, faces similar struggles rooted in agricultural dependency and historical inequalities. Stay tuned. Number 2. Madison Parish, Louisiana. The economy in Madison Parish is predominantly based on agriculture, which has been struggling due to various factors, including fluctuations in crop prices, advancements in agricultural technology, and environmental changes. These issues have resulted in economic instability in the area. As of June of the year 2024, the parish had only about 3,295 people employed, contributing to a high unemployment rate. This scarcity of job opportunities further drives poverty levels as many residents find it difficult to secure stable, well-paying jobs. Educational attainment in Madison Parish is below the national average, which limits job prospects for its residents. Approximately 16% of the population has completed only 9th to 12th grade, and merely about 10% hold a bachelor's degree. This educational gap contributes to a shortage of skilled labor, making it challenging for residents to qualify for higher-paying jobs outside the agricultural sector. The population of Madison Parish is predominantly African American, comprising approximately 62% of the total population. Poverty rates among African Americans in the parish are notably higher than other racial groups, with a staggering 51% living in poverty. Historical socioeconomic inequalities and systemic barriers have amplified poverty levels among minority communities in the region. Situated in a rural setting, Madison Parish has limited access to infrastructure and services commonly found in urban areas. This isolation makes it difficult to attract new businesses and industries that could offer alternative employment opportunities, further perpetuating the economic challenges faced by the community. Despite these challenges, Madison Parish offers affordable living options compared to many other regions in the United States. As of the year 2024, the average home value in the parish is approximately $74,000, reflecting a decrease of 7% from the previous year. Homes in the area have recently sold for as low as $70,000. The lower real estate prices are influenced by the economic conditions and the predominance of agricultural land, which generally commands lower prices than urban real estate. Additionally, the property tax rate in Madison Parish is quite low, with the median property tax being around $203 per year for a home valued at $71,000. This affordability in housing and property taxes makes Madison Parish an attractive option for those seeking lower-cost living arrangements. Number 1. Perry County, Alabama. Historically, Perry County relied heavily on agriculture as its primary economic activity. However, with the mechanization of farming, the demand for human labor drastically decreased. This shift has resulted in fewer job opportunities, contributing to the economic stagnation we see today. The county faces a lack of industrial diversity, which has hindered economic growth. Unlike more urbanized areas, Perry County has not attracted new businesses or industries that could revitalize the local economy. This lack of economic opportunity has led to a poverty rate of approximately 36%, significantly higher than the national average of around 12%. Education is another critical factor. Many residents in Perry County lack a high school diploma or higher education, limiting their job prospects and economic mobility. Educational attainment is crucial for attracting new businesses and industries, yet this remains a significant barrier for the county. Infrastructure challenges further compound these issues. Inadequate transportation networks and limited internet access make it difficult to attract new businesses and impede economic development. These limitations affect residents' daily lives, restricting access to broader job markets and essential services. Perry County has also experienced a substantial population decline. This is due to both natural decreases, where deaths outnumber births, and outmigration, as younger and more educated individuals leave in search of better opportunities elsewhere. This trend has left behind an aging population, increasing the dependency ratio and placing additional burdens on social services. For those considering real estate, Perry County offers relatively affordable options compared to national averages. As of 2024, the median home value in Perry County is around $116,958, having decreased by about 5.6% over the past year. Additionally, the median listing price in May of the year 2024 was approximately $119,900, reflecting a 19.8% decrease compared to the previous year. Population decline is a common trend in both U.S. states and countries around the world. Out of all 50 states, only 18 are seeing a drop in population in the year 2024. Notably, Alaska, Ohio, and New Jersey have each seen a decrease of about 0.1%. In this video, we will focus on 10 other states that you might not expect to be losing residents. Let's get started. Number 10. Rhode Island. In the year 2024, Rhode Island saw a population decline of approximately 0.3%. This decline was exacerbated by an overcount in the year 2020 census, which had overestimated Rhode Island's population by about 5%. Rhode Islanders are known for their resilience and distinctive accent, but even they have their limits. The state has gained notoriety for its deplorable road conditions, featuring potholes that can practically swallow your car. While Rhode Island does boast some beautiful beaches, most of the year they remain too cold to enjoy. The harsh winter weather, marked by powerful nor'easters that can transform a quick grocery store run into an Arctic expedition, is a major deterrent. It's no surprise that many Rhode Islanders eventually pack their bags, seeking refuge in places where the roads are smoother, the coffee isn't limited to Dunkin', and the sun shines a bit brighter and longer. The state is experiencing a natural population decline as the number of deaths now exceeds the number of births. Additionally, many residents are moving to other states with better economic opportunities, particularly in the South and West, where economic growth is faster and job prospects are more abundant. This internal migration is a significant contributor to Rhode Island's shrinking population. Rhode Island's slower economic growth and limited job opportunities lead to weaker economic conditions. This not only causes residents to leave in search of better opportunities elsewhere, but also deters new residents from moving to the state. With such challenges pushing people away from Rhode Island, Pennsylvania faces a similar predicament, but with its own unique set of obstacles. Stay tuned. Number 9. Pennsylvania. The primary reason people are leaving Pennsylvania is job-related. In the year 2024, Pennsylvania experienced a population decline of nearly 0.3%. This decline is more pronounced in rural areas than in urban centers. For example, Fayette County saw a decrease of almost 5%, while Cambria County experienced a decline of about 2.5%. Pennsylvania, with its charming cheesesteaks and unique quirks, has some challenges that push residents to seek new horizons. From the seemingly endless winters that stretch from October to May to the aggressive driving culture where the Pittsburgh left turn is a survival tactic, some residents feel it's time for a change. This population decline stems from several factors, including natural decreases where deaths outnumber births and a lack of new residents moving to these areas. According to the Center for Rural Pennsylvania, rural counties in the state are projected to experience a decline of nearly 6% over the next 25 years, with some counties expected to lose more than 10% of their population by the year 2050. The implications of this population decline are extensive. It affects workforce availability, property tax revenues, and the ability to care for aging residents. While Pennsylvania's rural areas are particularly hard hit, this trend is not unique to the state. Similar declines are observed in other states like New York, West Virginia, and California. After hearing about the challenges Pennsylvania faces with population decline, especially in rural areas, what's one unique thing about Pennsylvania that you think might make people want to stay despite the challenges? Share your thoughts in the comments. Number 8. West Virginia. West Virginia is renowned for its breathtaking landscapes and welcoming communities. However, it has been experiencing a steady population decline. In the year 2024, the state's population decreased by approximately 0.58%. One of the primary reasons for this exodus is the lack of job opportunities. Historically, West Virginia's economy heavily relied on the coal industry. Unfortunately, the industry has significantly declined, leading to widespread unemployment. This downturn has had a ripple effect, causing many businesses that supported coal mining to shut down as well. Adding to the woes, West Virginia has been facing a natural decrease in population, meaning there are more deaths than births. From the year 2020 to the year 2023, the state recorded 89,419 deaths, compared to 55,715 births. This significant disparity has further contributed to the population decline. Despite these challenges, there are some positive signs. For the past 2 years, West Virginia has experienced positive net migration, meaning more people are moving into the state than leaving. This trend is largely due to the state's lower cost of living and its appeal as a destination for remote work, a trend that surged during the COVID-19 pandemic. Additionally, West Virginia's outdoor amenities and new economic investments are attracting more residents. Interestingly, not all regions in West Virginia are experiencing a decline. The Eastern Panhandle, particularly Berkeley County, has seen notable population growth. From July of the year 2022 to July of the year 2023, Berkeley County's population grew by 2.37%. Other counties in the region, such as Jefferson, Morgan, Hampshire, and Hardee, also saw population increases during this period. This regional growth stands in stark contrast to the broader state trend, where 47 out of 55 counties experienced population declines. As West Virginia grapples with these mixed trends, another state facing its own unique set of challenges is Hawaii. Stay tuned. Number 7. Hawaii. Hawaii, known for its sunshine, surf, and stunning landscapes, is now equally renowned for its skyrocketing rents. The allure of paradise comes with a steep price tag. Residents are trading their lace for moving trucks, bidding aloha to the islands as they seek more affordable living in mainland zip codes. In the year 2024, Hawaii saw a population decline of nearly 0.5%. From July 1st, the year 2022, to July 1st, the year 2023, the state's population decreased by an average of 12 people per day. Although there was a natural increase of 6 people per day, thanks to 42 births against 35 deaths, this was offset by a net daily migration loss of 18 people. This included a net outflow of 31 people to other states, which was slightly counterbalanced by 13 more people moving into Hawaii from foreign countries than leaving. The economic factors driving this trend are significant. Hawaii's high cost of living, including exorbitant housing prices and the steep overall cost of goods and services, makes it challenging for many residents to remain. Furthermore, the state is experiencing a brain drain with young, educated residents seeking better job opportunities elsewhere. This exodus is leading to an aging population, posing long-term economic challenges for the state. Population decline in Hawaii is not uniform across the islands. Oahu, for instance, experienced a substantial drop, losing approximately 12,337 residents from July 2020 to July 2021. In contrast, islands like Kauai have seen slight population growth, highlighting regional disparities. Before we continue, I have a 10-second request for all of you. If you can help us out, please hit that subscribe button. It would mean a lot to us. In return, we promise to keep making this show even better for you. Deal? Number 6. Oregon. Oregonians are increasingly relocating to sunnier destinations, seeking relief from the state's infamous gray skies and persistent drizzle. Seasonal affective disorder, caused by prolonged lack of sunlight and resulting in vitamin D deficiency, leads to increased rates of depression among residents. Since the mid-1980s, Oregon was one of the most moved-to states in the country. In fact, every census since the year 1985, except for one, showed double-digit growth. However, the year 2030 census predicts a loss of about 4% in population if current trends continue. This is a drastic shift from the state's history of steady growth. In the year 2024, Oregon's population decreased by 0.38%. The U.S. Census Bureau reported a loss of over 6,000 residents from July the year 2022 to July the year 2023, representing a 0.1% decline. Since the year 2021, the state has lost around 23,000 people, about 0.5% of its population. High living costs and housing affordability issues are key drivers behind this decline. The average monthly living cost in Oregon is around $4,000, with median home prices soaring above $500,000. These economic pressures have made it increasingly difficult for residents to afford living in the state. Consequently, more people are moving out than moving in, a stark contrast to the state's previous reliance on immigration to boost its population and economy. Economists are alarmed by the potential fallout. A shrinking population can lead to reduced economic activity, lower tax revenues, and significant challenges in maintaining public services and infrastructure. Oregon's economy has traditionally depended on a growing labor force to support local businesses and state revenues. Therefore, continued population decline could have severe economic repercussions. Number 5. Mississippi. Mississippi struggles with high poverty rates and limited job opportunities, prompting many residents to leave in search of better economic prospects. It's not just the sweltering humidity and pesky mosquitoes driving people away, it's the lack of jobs that truly impacts this state. In the year 2024, Mississippi experienced a population decline of 0.32%. The primary reason cited by those leaving Mississippi is the search for better employment opportunities. Neighboring states like Tennessee, Georgia, and the Carolinas are seeing significant population growth as they offer more robust job markets and improved amenities. Mississippi's strict regulations, compared to its neighbors, can hinder economic growth, making the state less attractive for businesses and individuals alike. Additionally, the presence of state income tax in Mississippi, unlike in states such as Florida and Texas, further diminishes its competitive edge. The population loss is especially evident in rural areas, while urban regions such as Jackson and the Gulf Coast have experienced slight increases. This urban-rural divide mirrors broader national trends, with people moving towards areas offering better healthcare, education, and employment opportunities. Mississippi's shrinking population poses significant risks. The state may lose a congressional seat in the U.S. House of Representatives if the population decline continues, reducing its influence in federal matters. A declining population also means a smaller labor force, which can hurt local economies and make it harder for businesses to find skilled workers, creating a vicious cycle of economic stagnation and further population loss. Number 4. California. Californians are starting to realize that living in perpetual sunshine isn't as glamorous as it seems. While the beaches are stunning, finding parking is nearly impossible. California boasts many positives as great weather, beautiful beaches, an abundance of plastic surgeons, and fresh produce like avocados. However, these perks come with hefty costs, especially in housing. In the year 2024, California experienced a population decrease of nearly 0.33%, continuing a trend from the early year 2020s. The COVID-19 pandemic significantly contributed to this decline, causing increased mortality rates, reduced international immigration, and heightened interstate migration due to high living costs. Many residents moved to more affordable states like Texas, Nevada, and Arizona. The primary driver behind this exodus is the state's exorbitant housing costs. While various policies have influenced real estate prices, the overarching issue remains affordability. For instance, the median home price in California is around $800,000, substantially higher than the national average of approximately $400,000. Renting is also expensive, with the average monthly rent in cities like San Francisco and Los Angeles exceeding $3,000. Moreover, California's birth rates have been declining. The state's total fertility rate, once above the national average, has dropped to one of the lowest by the year 2020. Despite these challenges, recent data shows a reversal. In the year 2023, California's population increased by about 67,000 people, driven by a rebound in legal foreign immigration and stabilized mortality rates. This growth was prominent in regions like the Bay Area, Central Valley, and the Inland Empire, where significant housing developments occurred. However, California's aging population presents another challenge. With a growing proportion of residents aged 65 and older, there are rising concerns about the future labor force and the demand for services such as healthcare and housing. As Californians grapple with sky-high housing costs and the allure of cheaper living elsewhere, the situation in Illinois presents a stark contrast, with residents fleeing high taxes and frigid winters. Stay tuned. Number 3. Illinois. Illinois is a state that's seen a significant population decline in recent years. The drop isn't just from Chicago, but from cities across the state. Many locals seem to be chasing the sun, tired of harsh winters, and relocating to warmer climates. Illinois has a long history of people moving to Utah, a trend that's persisted for decades. Interestingly, if you exclude neighboring states, the top 2 states contributing to Utah's population growth are California and Illinois. In the year 2024, Illinois experienced a population decrease of approximately 0.82%. From July of the year 2022 to July of the year 2023, the state saw an estimated net loss of 32,826 residents, primarily due to domestic outmigration. High taxes, crime rates, and the overall cost of living are key factors driving this exodus. The population decline has impacted every metropolitan area and 87 out of 102 counties in Illinois. Despite a natural increase in population, with 10,453 more births than deaths and a net gain of 40,492 international migrants, these gains were outweighed by a net loss of 83,839 residents to other states. Polls consistently show a significant portion of Illinois residents consider leaving the state, primarily due to high taxes. For instance, a survey conducted by NPR Illinois and the University of Illinois in the year 2019 found that 61% of residents contemplated moving out, with taxes being the primary reason. Number 2. New York. New York State is seeing a considerable outflow of its residents, with the majority leaving New York City for more affordable and livable destinations. The city that never sleeps has become too expensive for many, making it nearly impossible for residents to find affordable housing. As a result, many are relocating to upstate New York, New Jersey, or even farther afield to places like Florida, Minnesota, and Wisconsin. In the year 2024, New York lost nearly 1% of its population. This population decline can be primarily attributed to economic factors. New York's high tax burden is driving residents to states with lower taxes. Even though New York has recovered the jobs lost during the COVID-19 pandemic, its economy is growing at a slower rate compared to the national average 0.7% versus 2.5% in the year 2023. The high cost of living, especially in New York City, is another significant factor. The city's exorbitant housing prices and essential living costs are forcing many to seek more affordable regions. For instance, the average rent for a one-bedroom apartment in New York City is around $3,000 per month, compared to about $1,500 in Minneapolis, Minnesota. The COVID-19 pandemic accelerated this migration trend as people sought less densely populated areas with better regulations. This trend has continued beyond the pandemic, indicating a lasting change in residential preferences. The decline in New York's population has significant implications for the state's budget and economic policies. Lawmakers are now urged to align spending with revenue more strategically and consider the long-term impacts of high taxes and the cost of living on population retention. Number 1. Michigan. In the year 2024, Michigan's population is facing a significant decline due to a combination of demographic and migration trends. The state's population, currently around 10.1 million, is projected to decrease substantially in the coming decades. By the year 2050, Michigan's population could fall by approximately 128,000 people, a 1.3% decline from the year 2022, potentially reaching a level not seen since the year 1990. In a more severe scenario, the population might plummet by nearly 700,000 residents, representing a 7% decrease. Several factors contribute to this decline. Michigan has shifted from a younger, higher fertility population to an older, low fertility one. This demographic shift means that deaths are expected to outnumber births significantly, with projections indicating an annual natural decrease of around 25,000 by the next decade. This trend is exacerbated by the aging baby boomer generation moving into high mortality years. Migration patterns also play a crucial role. Historically, Michigan has experienced net negative migration, losing residents to other states, particularly those in the Sun Belt, Mountain West, and West Coast regions. Although there have been efforts to attract new residents through net positive migration, the natural decrease is likely to outweigh these gains in the near future. In response to these challenges, Governor Gretchen Whitmer has initiated strategies to reverse the trend, including the creation of the Growing Michigan Together Council and the appointment of a chief growth officer. These initiatives aim to attract good-paying jobs, lower housing costs, and enhance the overall quality of life to make Michigan more attractive to new residents. If you found today's video interesting, don't hesitate to hit the like button and subscribe to the Discover Globe channel. Your support is very important to us. Be sure to check out the next video appearing on your screen. You're sure to love the content we bring. Please leave a comment about which country you'd like us to explore next. Thank you for watching, and see you in the latest video.